I was trying to control everything all the time, and I was really stressed out about everything that was not going my way.
Okay, so I have my friend Shayla with me today, Shayla Kennedy, and we're just good friends. And I know that we're going to talk about some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks for having me.
so what have you been up to recently?
A lot.
Yeah,
I hope you have a lot of time.
we can
I
spend as much time as we want. Yeah,
Yeah, it's been a while. So I'm trying to think of when we last saw each other. I know it was the summer, but I'm
because
like,
we were
was it the
outside.
beginning of the summer? Was it the
I
end?
think it was the end of the summer,
Okay. So,
like in August, I think.
a lot of life changes. Well, yeah, okay, I had already moved. So that was one life change in the book. 2025 was just a lot of changes for me. I Oh my gosh, so much. There were a lot of deaths, unfortunately. Yeah, in my family. Yeah, a lot of death, which was really hard. But the upside of that, I guess, is I reconnected with parts of my family that I hadn't spoken to since I was maybe a teenager or so. So that was really nice. Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, a lot. So something, and I don't know, I probably didn't share this with you at all because I was very hush hush about it, but I used to be a drinker.
Mhm.
And I want to, it was August, like the middle of August of this past year. I was just like, yeah, I've outgrown like this habit. I don't want to do it anymore. And, my health was starting to kind of get in the toilet, and I just decided to be sober. And so, yeah, I've been sober, and I've been feeling amazing, and have just been really enjoying life and trying a lot of new things, this included. Never done anything like this before. Yeah, I started volunteering at the Whitewater Arts Alliance. Also, that was great. I started going to plays at the Lakeland Players Theater in
Where's that?
Elkhorn.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, I went to a play.
that's the one right on the square, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I almost cried during the play. It was not a sad play. It was Rudolph, but I was like in tears because I just couldn't believe how much I had forgotten how big of a part that the theater used to be in my life. I was kind of a theater nerd growing up, and so it was so fun to get back into that. So, I signed up to be kind of like on their volunteer list. And then I'm like, maybe one day I'll work up the courage to audition or something. But I really just like being in the community. I'm not like, I never really considered myself like a good actor. I just loved the vibe, and I just love everything that theater has to offer, and the enthusiasm, and the people are usually amazing.
Right.
Yeah. So trying to get back into that. The Arts Alliance, they kind of inspired me to maybe start like flexing my art muscle, which I didn't even know that I had. So I'm like collecting things right now to start collaging, because that's something that I also used to do a lot when I was a teenager. So yeah, I've been spending the past few months just kind of rediscovering things that I like to do.
So what's behind all this?
I don't know. I have like a new lease on life. I don't know. I don't know if it was triggered with like me stopping drinking. Well, it freed up a lot of time. And at first, when I was quitting, I was like, okay, well, I need some things to keep me busy. Because it was a little bit tricky in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. It's not. I feel great now. I don't even remember the last time I thought like, oh, a drink would be nice. So yeah, I don't really know, but I just feel like I have a new appreciation for life, and I feel like I'm seeing everything for, you know, with like a childlike curiosity and wonder. I've just been saying yes to a lot of things and just trying new stuff.
I think that so often, once you like, there's some hurdle or some cloud you can get out of, and then all of a sudden you realize like, oh, I can just do whatever I want to do,
Yes.
rather than doing the things that are kind of like easy and just
Yes. That's exactly it. And once I kind of got over that hurdle, because I truly, I don't know, I was pretty depressed and I was just in a spot where I'm like, all right, I'm probably just going to spend the rest of my life having a six pack every day after work and just, you know, working the same job and doing the same things and, you know, the chores and the housework, or chores and housework are the same thing. You know, chores and cooking and taking care of other people. And it was like, once I got through that, I was like, hold on. Well, I did that. I can probably do just whatever I want. And so, yeah, I started questioning just what other patterns or beliefs or what have you were ingrained in me, that I could start questioning. And yeah, so I've,
so like it's just one habit at first, and then
yeah,
then now you're like the detective searching out like what else can I find? What
Yeah.
else is holding me back? What
Yeah.
else is just like this some conditioned habit that I've grown into? And
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been questioning everything and it's been a fun ride. I'm so the collaging part. So that's one of the things I'm sort of questioning, because I've always told myself like, you're not a good artist. You're not, you know, I think last time I took an art class, I got like a D or a C in it because I was not great at it.
how do you?
But
wait, excuse me.
I know.
Art class is like the automatic A, isn't it, or B? You have to like
You
just show
would
up.
think I was so bad at it. That regardless of me showing up, I somehow did not get a great grade.
Okay, I'm going to apologize to anybody that's watching. That's like a very studious art major, and because my experience with art really is not past junior high, so that's where that
Yeah.
assessment comes into. But showing up is like half.
Yeah, half the battle. Yeah, no, I showed up all the time.
Yeah.
I was a very good student. But it just, I don't know, the whatever they were teaching was not clicking for me. But that's just one of those things I've always told myself, like, well, you're not an artsy person, you're not a creative person, you're more of a logical person. And so I've been questioning that, and that's been fun. Learning, you know.
I think everybody has a creative side.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I think it can get stifled
Absolutely. No, I agree.
and judged, especially when we're like judging ourselves. Like I'm not good enough for art. I'm not an artist.
Right.
But there's so many people that have lived a big career doing logical, boring stuff, and then they retire and then they try art. And they're great at it.
Yeah. I think of well, George Bush.
Right? Yeah. Yep. That's who I was thinking
But
of.
yes, I always think of him. I'm like, you know what? George Bush can do it and be a great artist.
Yeah.
Maybe I can too. So we'll see. But yeah, I've just been having fun. Despite all of the sad things that are happening, you know, and then in my personal life, all of the death and everything, I've still been I've just been really happy, really grateful.
Grateful is an awesome word.
Yeah, it is.
So my dad had a heart attack in November, just before Thanksgiving, and he had dementia before that. But then from that, they placed him on hospice care.
Yeah.
And so we decided to try to keep him at home. So I've been going over to my mom's every night and spending the night with them. Then he has some help that comes a little bit during the day, but it's so rigorous. And I felt like my health was deteriorating because of this lack of sleep and stuff. And we put him into a memory care unit at Hearthstone over at Fairhaven last week.
Okay.
And it like opens up so much. It was the right choice because everybody in our family was not doing well.
Yeah.
Because of the stress. I'm not sure if he's getting the good care. Now we can visit him as much as you want. I go over there every day,
Good.
but not as his caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
And where was I going with this? It so there's these concepts of grief and struggle, and my son and I saw a grief counselor about this to kind of help make sense of all this. And one thing he took away with it was to do a daily gratitude journal
Oh, I love
in the morning, and to
that.
start every day, like no matter what,
Yeah.
just the first thought, instead of like, ugh, I gotta go to work, or like I'm late, is
Yeah.
like just focus on the things you're grateful for.
Yeah.
And then that helps train our brain to start
Mm-hmm.
having those thoughts more readily at hand. And then you start realizing that we look at so much social media and news, and it seems like there's nothing to be grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
But really, that's so skewed by companies that own these
Yeah.
media things that are looking to make money and push our algorithms to get us to, to feel bad about stuff
Mm-hmm.
because we're drawn to that. But there's so much positive stuff in life that it
Yeah.
really takes, and sometimes it takes an effort to like say, you know what, I'm going to push this stuff away. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to start being grateful. I'm going to do the things that I didn't think I had time to because I've spent so much time surfing
Yeah.
the web or something like that. Or,
Yeah.
and like, you know what, I'm going to, like, this podcast for me is an opportunity to like, so I started seeing a life coach this summer to help just think about planning stuff, and is going between AI and some kind of podcast
Mm-hmm.
media thing like this. And I was going to split my time equally with him, maybe do AI more in the beginning. But she kind of saw through me, and she's like, you lighten up a lot more when you're talking about the things that we're talking about than you do when you're talking about using AI. And I always wanted to do it for sustainable development
Yeah.
reasons, which is positive things. And there were times like when my dad had his accident, and we were out going to the hospital a lot, and I didn't have time to do a lot of the prep work
Mm-hmm.
for our next meeting with my life coach. But I decided, no. I'm going to do this. I'm going to like research what software to use. I'm going to buy equipment. I'm going to practice these things. I'm going to sign up for different social media accounts to publish stuff on. I'm going to start looking for people to interview and actually schedule stuff, even when I didn't feel like I had the time,
Yeah.
because I knew it was important, and I kept
Yeah.
pushing through. And
And it's incredible. I feel like you find the energy for the things that move you
mm-hmm.
and make you happy, you know?
Yeah,
So, I'm thankful that you did.
yeah.
And how is your dad doing with the transition?
I think he's doing well.
Yeah.
He sometimes doesn't know, getting used to like, where's my home? Is this it? And am I going back or
Mm-hmm.
but I think the more he gets used to it and used to the people there, and making friends there and doing the activities there, it's a peaceful place. We chose it because they have like nature documentaries on the TV
Oh,
rather
that's
than
awesome.
rather than like 24-hour news stuff
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
things that are loud, and they it's instead of like a hallway with lots of rooms, there's a common area where they got their recliners and their blankets that the old people can put on their knees and
Uh-huh.
just kind of just take a nap, sit and talk, or just watch what's going on. And then there's the dining area, and then kind of the main kitchen headquarters area, and all that's surrounded by the rooms. So everybody's rooms open right out to
Oh,
that
that's
common
great.
area.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody's down at the end of a hallway,
Yeah.
someplace where they're kind of
Alone and
alone
forgotten.
or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to check on everybody, and the people that are mobile can just go into the room, come back right back out, and
Yeah.
so that's kind of neat
That's a
that way.
great design. You would think that would be standard. That's a great idea.
Right, right, and that really was amazing. It has high ceilings with sun the sunlight coming into the
Yeah.
what are those things called?
The sky. Wait,
Skylight,
skylight. I
skylight,
almost said
right?
skyscraper.
Skylights, and it just feels really. I can go there and spend, several hours or half a day there and just feel totally relaxed. I'll grab a chair too and just either I'll sit and read a book and my dad just can see me there, or we might chat a little bit. But I don't feel like I'm in some hospital clinic
Yeah.
type
That's great.
place. Yeah.
Good. And it's awesome that you get to show up as his son, and not a caretaker. Caretaking is that takes a lot out of anyone. It's a lot of work.
There was a quote I read recently. Or no, is actually Muji. Okay, right here. One night I was getting ready to go to bed, and I thought, no, I'm just gonna watch something from Muji. And there's a short little 6-minute video about weathering the storm. And so he's using nature as an analogy to reference events and crises and things that come up in our life. And it's like if you're out in the wilderness, wind is going to blow, leaves are blowing around, the waves might come up, things happen, and things are always changing. The cloud comes, maybe the rain comes, but there's still a stillness that is there. It doesn't affect the earth. They just come, and you don't look. It's like, oh no, look at the wind blowing those leaves around.
Right.
It's like, oh, that's just what happens. It just happens.
You don't have the squirrels like, come on, again. They
Right.
just deal with it. They're just like,
they
all
just
right.
deal with it. It comes, and they don't jump into it and start like having all these judgments. Oh, why did this have to
Yeah.
happen? Like, or try to resist it.
Yeah.
And so he's saying when things happen and the storms come, don't try to push it away, or don't try to resist it or judge it. Just like, oh,
Yeah.
things are going to always happen in life,
Yep.
but I'm going to stay still and just,
And that's the only, I guess, control, I'm doing quotes, that we have too, is how we act, respond to the external things that
Yeah.
are constantly bombarding us. We can't control them. And I think a lot of times the reason that people are unhappy in their lives, at least I know for me, I was very unhappy with my life, I think because I was trying to control everything all the time. And I was really stressed out about everything that was not going my way. And that was part of, me just getting better and just, why I'm in such a good mood from the last time I saw you is just have an acceptance of life now. Like, oh yeah, this happened and it's unfortunate, but
people die.
yeah.
Your car breaks down. You can even lose your house.
Yeah. All of those
All-
three things
you can
happened
have
in
a
the
bunch-
past year for me.
You can have a bunch of assholes doing crappy stuff to you.
Yeah.
And you want to try to get back at them or why are they doing this? And you start blaming yourself as a victim. As soon as you say it's like, oh, they did this to me, now you're a victim. And that's a whole nother layer of emotions
Yeah.
that cloud what's beautiful about life.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And your son is really spot on too with the gratitude journaling. That's also something I've adopted. Well, I probably started it a few years ago, but kind of few and far between. But I have a daily gratitude practice now every morning. And that's changed so much. It's crazy. It's almost to the point where when anything happens now, my automatic response is to see the lesson or what I can be grateful out of it. And it's automatic.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes, it's incredible.
And there'll be times when it isn't as easily automatic, but it's closer to the surface where it's easier to like, oh, I need to like grab that gratitude.
Yeah.
Rather than like forgetting about it for weeks and months and years.
Yeah.
Just whenever, I think one of my favorite habits that I've tried to develop is when actually the worst something happens to me, the more horrible it is, I see that as like God, like doing that. And I'm like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You're right. I was getting a little big ego or forgetting about you or focusing on, trying to make more money too much or worrying about stuff. And it's like, okay, all right. And then I just acknowledge that connection. And then I just go forward. And then all of a sudden that big problem isn't a problem.
Yeah.
I may still have to pick up my favorite glass that I dropped and broke.
Yeah.
But it's not a problem. It's just it's just the wind blowing the leaves through your life.
Yeah. It's amazing how that works.
Yeah.
Aren't you like, oh man, I wish I would have figured that out like a couple decades ago. I think that I'm like, oh man, things would have been a lot easier if but I trust that everything happens when it's supposed to.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Before.
Right.
And I've had snippets of these connections come into my life in the past and really profound, moving experiences, but I didn't know what to do with them. And I was younger, but it kind of took it. I just needed more stuff to deal with, I suppose.
Yeah.
For me to like really dive in. And dive into it. Yeah. And for me, it took getting depression and anxiety for me to like, where I absolutely needed to like search for something meaningful in my life. And so now I kind of see that whole experience as kind of like a blessing too. It's like that happened for a reason. One thing with depression is your emotions seem very, very close and personal. And that's kind of, in a way, nice as well, because it's like, I remember driving down a street and just seeing these trees kind of bending over, almost like they're crying, but they also were connecting with me. Yeah. And it was very meaningful and not sad in a bad way, but it was kind of like because my life was sad. It was kind of a reflection of where I was. And that's kind of, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That was there, and because it led me to, Muji to look up his stuff. It led me to lots of other experiences. It led me to you and this podcast and being able to make content for other people to look at, like, how can I refocus my life to like focus on who I am rather than what other people think. Yeah.
It's incredible what comes out of our hardships.
Yeah. I think for me, one of the sources there's a couple things. One was I went to Haiti and saw some just really, really, really horrible stuff. Yeah. And I was a criminal defense attorney and I saw some horrible stuff there, a public defender. And I couldn't talk to people about that because that's private. And also I wasn't living up to the standards of success that I had set for myself in life. And I realized that those standards were placed on me by society. Like I accepted them. Like they weren't, you can't push it on me, but I realized that all those standards were things that I thought I needed to be and that other people expected from me. And then just learning to like not care what other people think.
Yeah. That's freeing.
Yeah. And just being myself is all I need.
Yeah. It's awesome. I'm still working on accepting myself, but I'll tell you, I accept myself at least 75% more than I did last time we saw each other. And it has been such a freeing experience, just not caring and just being like, well, I am who I am. Yeah. And I'm okay with it. So it doesn't bother me if you're not okay with it. So yeah, when we came in here, I know I was like, I cannot stand my voice. Please don't record this. But I don't care. I'm to a point where I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah. Nobody likes their voice when they hear it.
Yeah. Okay.
At first, like it's
yeah.
It's like, that's me. That's what I sound like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whenever I see a video of myself or hear myself, I'm like, oh. But getting used to it.
So, how did the I want to get kind of into more like what kind of helped you blossom a little bit this year and to like take a step down a different path and say like, oh, this is comfortable, this is right. Like obviously you said you're drinking, but was there anything like you can explain that like made you like, was it the death? Was it just challenges in your life that you just said, I've had enough of something? Like what?
I honestly, I wish there was like some type of aha moment but it was just like a random Sunday. I remember it was a Sunday. It was just a random day and I was just like, I think so, I had been living in a not amazing living situation, living with my mom, and then we were caretaking my grandmother, and then I had brothers moving in and out, and it was a lot of chaos and a lot of stuff, and I had gotten really, really depressed, and my family and I were butting heads all the time, and I just, I felt like my nuclear family, my husband, my daughter, we didn't have our own stuff, we didn't have privacy, and, so I was really depressed, and I kept thinking like, as soon as we move, everything is going to be better. Everything will be great. And not going to lie, I mean, the day we moved, it was amazing. But shortly after that, amazingness and newness of the new place wore off, all of my same BS, I don't know if we can swear, all of the
Fuck
same,
yeah.
okay, all of the same shit was still there. I was still incredibly anxious. I was so depressed. The bills were still piling up. Just all of life's problems were still there. And I think I just finally got to a point where, I had already started the gratitude practice. I was using this app. It's called the Finch app, not sponsored. And you take care of this little bird and you send it off like on adventures, but the caveat is you can't take care of the little bird unless you take care of yourself, because you have all of these little like mini goals, and they're usually like self-care related mini goals, and so you have to do those things in order to take care of your bird. And yeah, so I had already started that, and we met through the mindfulness book club, so I had already been practicing mindfulness and meditation and all of those things. And I think I don't know why it was this random day, nothing happened, but I think just everything started clicking. And I've always been a really avid reader, so I was reading kind of a lot of more so like self-help books, but then also I was reading a couple different memoirs too at the time that were just felt really powerful. And I think just everything came together. And I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of living like this. I'm tired of feeling like I'm constantly beat down by life. And I'm tired of just putting on like a smile and kind of an act in my everyday life, because I didn't show up to work or hanging out with my friends, all sad. And, I put on the happy, the happy act, and I was just kind of tired of it. And I just decided, I was like, I'm just going to try things a different way. And you know what? If I fail, then whatever. At least I tried.
Was there like some spiritual connection or energy you felt that was pushing you, or did you like logically think, I know that this is good for me, so I'm going to try it? Did you see all these different books you're reading and things like as being placed there for you, or like tell me more about like where how your perception and emotions, what they were focused on, what they're being pulled by, what they're being driven by.
Yeah. So definitely it was very spiritual, which I have never really had a very strong connection in my spiritual life. I grew up, I was Catholic, and then we kind of stopped being Catholic. We bounced around different churches, and I never, nothing ever really connected for me. I loved the community and everything, but nothing ever really felt right. And through meditation and things like that, I feel that I started finding a little bit of spirituality and connecting with God. And I have always done a lot of sort of manifesting, even though I don't think that I knew that's what I was doing. And so, no, I definitely think that all of those things were for me. Like, there were a lot of running things. I would read books that were completely different genres that would seemingly have nothing to do with each other, and they would have the same phrases and the same themes, and I'm like, what? What?
Okay. Yeah, like where
Yeah.
did that come from?
Yeah. And so I think it was just it was like repeated messages that I was just like, yeah, you know what? I can do so much more in this life. And the first thing to do before I embark on doing whatever I want to do in this life is to let go of everything that's holding me back. And so, the drinking, that was just like the first easy. Well, I don't want to say easy. It wasn't necessarily easy, but that was just, it was the first thing.
It was the obvious thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the very like number one, like, okay, well, obviously this should go. And then, after that was gone, then it was like, okay, well, I've learned that I don't like to sit with my emotions. So let's dig into that. Yeah.
That's scary.
Yes, it is. And I got a therapist too at the same time. And yeah, I just started doing a lot of work, and it was hard, and there was a lot of nights where I was crying, but it was all worth it. And I definitely think it was all divine timing. Absolutely. Because I think I think had I had the epiphany of, hey, I'm going to clean up my life or something a year ago, I don't think I would have done it. Mm-hmm. I think I would have given up. Yeah, I wasn't ready. Like what you were talking about earlier, just not being ready.
I think like just how in the same way we don't control everything that's happening around us in life, like it's always going to change. You can't build a wall and protect yourself with a perfect life. In the same way, you can't control when and how you're going to open up to something greater. You can make yourself say, okay, make a pledge, but there's like, I'm just going to open up. I'm going to look around and look for things, look for signs, look for the same passages in different books.
Yeah.
But it's really, I think that puts a lot of credit on our ego, our personality, our emotions of being in control of who we are. And really, those things don't really matter or exist.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like grace, I feel like, when people make those changes. It's like they don't, you have to make an effort to, like, okay, I'm gonna try to stop.
Yeah.
I'm ready. But how it unfolds and where it unfolds is part of the mystery.
Yeah.
And learning to stop trying to control how that unfolds, or what do you think the mysticism should be. I read a book and it explained it this way, or this is, how this religion explains it. Those are all great things, but it's so personal, and it's already who you are.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the foundation that you don't even see. It's kind of like this, the awareness that's watching you struggle.
Yeah.
And it's seeing all the things you're seeing. It has access to all your senses, but your mind gets in there and starts doing our little stuff. And I'm going to do this. And it's not until we, like, stop trying to control ourselves and force ourselves to be a certain way and to say, all right,
Yeah.
I'm done with it. I'm done with myself.
Yeah. And just trust.
And just trust that.
Yeah.
And some people say, but you've worked so hard to become a great student or a great teacher, or you're a great athlete, or you're caring, or this. And it's like, those are like identities that we hold as badges of honor. But even the good ones, it's good to just, like, let go of them and just fall completely, keep falling back and just doing, just like putting your arms back and just knowing that it's going to catch you and hold you. And there may be epiphanies and great experiences, but it's just this stillness, kind of just reassuring that just lets you go through life just with gratitude.
Yeah. It's the ultimate trust fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
And something that you said, going back to our foundations, that really resonated with me, because I feel like the past several months I've been going through a great remembering of just, like, discovering who I am at the core. And some of it is stuff that I remember, like, oh yeah, I used to do that when I was 6 and that was awesome. And some of it I don't necessarily remember in my life, but I'm like, no, this feels right. Like, this is who I am at the core.
Yeah. Yeah. It just feels right. So you do it just because it's like, it feels right. Not because I'm an artist.
Right.
I want to be an artist. It's just like, this feels right today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow it may not. And that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very freeing.
Yeah. Well, I think this is kind of a good place to stop for today.
Okay.
And we'll keep talking like this more, because I love talking about you.
Yes, I love talking to you.
I'm so excited to just find out where each of us are on our path with this.
Yeah, I love that.
And let people out there know that, hey, it doesn't matter what's holding you back. Fuck society. Fuck the rules. Just open yourself up to this, like, immense piece that's the core, like, of who we are. Just trust it.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
All right. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Yay. That was awesome.
If you enjoyed this episode and you know somebody that might be inspired by it, share it with them. To learn more about the show, go to chasingthetimeless.com.